All right, I think that's enough. I've made you guys wait long enough. Hello. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? I'm actually here on time, right? Yes. Saying I'm actually here on time, like I'm never not here on time. It's not so happy. True. It's only Wednesday? What a week. Shots fired? No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Here, let me change the music to the internal sound of Final Fantasy 14. Hello. This isn't right. Hold on. Also, I can get rid of that. Oh, God. There we go. You never late. You're exactly on time for when you want to be where you're going. That's right. Porp's like a wizard. She shows up exactly when she means to. Anyways, hello. I saw you guys in chat very briefly before you blinked out of existence. I'm not sure what that was about. You best be behaving yourself, OBS. No, it's fine. Okay. All right. Just like Gamble the Great. That's right. But anyways. Yeah, so this is going to be, I think, a bit of a short week for the MSQ. I'll be doing the MSQ today. And then Civ 7 tomorrow. And probably more Civ 7 on Friday. Get the most of that early launch window. But we've got a live letter coming up. It's tomorrow if you pre-ordered it. And I've played enough early launch Civ games that I know I probably won't be disappointed by what I see. It's one of those games where it's not necessarily feature complete. Excited to watch me play Civ. I hope I enjoy it. I'm probably going to enjoy it. I've mentally decided I'm going to enjoy it. So it'll just be, it'll have to be pretty bad, I think, for me to not like it. So let's hope that doesn't happen. So anyways, what did we find out last time? We got to go up the big mountain. You don't have the money for it right now? I really don't like the monetization of the game. The different versions. I'm assuming a lot of that content is going to be made available later. At least it should be. I don't like people being locked out of features based on time. You know? Alright. The Feat of Proof. As we've just been informed, the Feat of Proof requires us to seek the High Luminary Gerferler somewhere upon these mountains. However, if earlier feats are any indication, we must assume the challenge precludes the Yok Huy from answering our questions in a straightforward manner. Thus, I would ask that you pay close attention while attempting to divine Gerfeler's whereabouts. Though the giants may not give us a precise location, there may be clues hidden within their words. Such is my theory anyway. Let us see what we can discover. Okay. Hey, Yorgawar. The High Luminary? No, I've not seen him today. Now let me ask you a question. That Shabral who came out of the temple earlier, was that really the third promise? She seems rather unimposing. How is she meant to succeed the mighty Galul Jaja? They didn't give me any hints, Wook. They just all told me that you kinda suck. Maybe that is the hint. They like set up a lot of people doubting Wook with no payoff, which is kind of a shame. I feel like she needs a moment to like dunk on all the haters. Yeah, she can wear his decorative wings. Those will add a couple feet. Just like his wings, not even like ones for her size. Tuliolan? No, you're farther away than that, I think. As for the High Luminary, I can only guess where he might be. He is a warder of the Sky Ruin, but also a keeper of the sepulchres, and his duties often take him outside the village. The sepulchre. My nose is all stuffed up today. Maybe it's just dusty over here. It's dry. Zerferlar. Asking after the High Luminary as well, are you? I know not where to find him, but I do hope you have the opportunity to speak together. He is a great man with a deep reverence for our traditions. These glyphs we carve, for one, he affords them as much value as any treasure we possess. They are records of lives lived. Your arrival, too, I will etch into the stone, that the story of our meeting may endure for untold turnings of the sun. If you're curious about our ways, then I bid you visit Proof to the northwest of here. It is one of our grave sites. Proof? The feet of Proof? My God. Prove feet. Pics or they don't exist. You must prove you have feet. Get them dogs out. There's the mountain. The cutscene was trying to tell us. First things first, was anyone able to coax forth a definite location for the High Luminary? No. As expected. What then of clues or other hints that might point us in the right direction? I heard that in addition to his usual duties, Gerfeler is also charged with keeping the graves. As did I. The Yok Huy's sepulchres appear to hold a special significance in their culture. Stumbling over my words. But would it be appropriate for us outsiders to enter into their burial grounds? Proof, you say, and he encouraged you to visit this place yourself. Into the Sepi-Wepi. Then let's go take a look. If we don't find Gerfeler there, it'll give us a chance to learn more about the Yok Huy. Gravesite is somewhere northwest of here. Well, we can leave from that side of the village for a start, shall we? You know, if you just start killing people, any site can be a gravesite. Not that I would suggest the Zoral Ja approach. Man. Zoral Ja. What an idiot. The others have gone on ahead to Proof, following the trail west. There are sharp drops everywhere, so we're all moving at our own pace. Some of us are not built for craggy terrain. I thought to get my bearings from up here first so I don't stumble off a cliff. Why don't you try catching up to Aaronville? He should be able to point you in the right direction. Some could be good in this terrain. It's so stupid, it's genius. Well, like, the way everything about Zoral Ja is done, from the like, this is my solution to save Tural. Okay, I'm gonna conquer everyone, but Garlemald did that and it didn't work out. Yes, well, I'm built different. To like, oh no, I have a baby. It just paints him as an idiot. So I have no choice but to conclude that Zoral Ja is in fact an idiot. He's just fooling everyone because he's stoic. It's not quite mountain climbing, but these steep slopes are exhausting enough. He's stupid, but he's just fooling everyone because he doesn't talk. So everyone's like, he's so intense and brooding and mysterious. And meanwhile, the inside of his head is just the chicken dance. Yeah, silence is golden. Take a look at this crater. There's no wood, no trees, not even dried grass, yet the ground still burns. To me, the scars left by Valigarmanda's rampage is told by the saga. Skyruin's fires are described as eternal, flames that can be quenched by neither storm nor time. I thought it was a literary embellishment. But now I've lost sight of Wuk-Lamont. Proof is northwest along the main road, so hopefully she's still heading the right way. Hey, Alf, you know? These have the look of homes rather than graves, but it would seem long years have passed since anyone living resided here. Like, he's definitely a big fish in a small pond, but maybe he's just kind of dumb. And he's like, I'm not dumb. Could a dumb person do this? And then he starts doing push-ups really fast. I'd take that version of Zeralja. Wuk-Lamont wins again. Looks like everyone is here now, so... Greetings, friend. Are you Gurfalur? No, I am not. The High Luminary did, however, task me with providing a lesson on sepulchres to those who came in search of him. Oh, so we were meant to find our way here after all. Are you to tell us who is buried here? No one is buried here in the sense you mean. When a body has served its purpose, we consign it to the flames, then scatter its ashes across the peaks. Moreover, we do not conceive of death as others do. For us, a person does not die when their heart ceases to beat, but only when they are no longer born in the hearts of all who know them. So this is our direct parallel with Alexandria. This is why we build our sepulchres before age or mishap claims us, that we might etch ourselves into the living chronicle for all eternity. This grave belongs to a good friend. His mortal vessel ended its journey some years ago, but he lives within me, even now. Up there stands my own sepulcher. As long as it exists, so too will I. I will endure in the hearts of those who read my grave glyphs, in the same manner my friend does in mine. Has it always been thus for your people, this conception of existence and death? Continue along this path to the indelible passage. Behold the history upon its walls, and you may find the answers to your questions. And that's what we'll do. Your traditions are fascinating. I'd love to know more. I thank you for allowing me to share them, for in doing so, I will remain in your hearts also. You know, normally you get your pets vaccinated for that sort of thing. Zeralja heard about the whole punch the toughest guy in prison and applied it to international politics. Yeah. You just show up, you find the biggest country on the continent, you look them right in the eyes, and you stab them. But, like, they're obviously foreign powers, participating in the contest, and he's like tromping around during the contest being like, we will invade all the other countries in the world. Go tell them. Oh, okay. Give them time to prepare. Look at these splendid murals. They appear to depict 4 different scenes. Oh, yeah. You know, we've seen cave paintings in Shadowbringers. This is nothing new. Never spoken with a Yok Huy before. I had no idea they held such a philosophy on life and death. I get the feeling they were expecting us. And not only be remembered, but to live inside the hearts of others. It's possible, and grandfather surely lives on inside mine. 'Tis a comforting thought. Hello, a fellow we met at Proof suggested that we come here. Yes, the High Luminary commanded that I watch for your arrival. As the chroniclers of our people, it has ever been my family's duty to pass on the teachings of the murals from generation to generation. They really are magnificent, and together they tell the tale of your people's history. They are the events which shaped us. I would share them with you ere you continue on your way. Please, we would love to hear all about it. Then I will begin. The first mural depicts a time more than 1100 years ago, an age of great prosperity for the Yok Huy. Blessed with size and strength unmatched by other peoples, our ancestors marched forth and brought much of Yok under their dominion. Then, when all before them had been conquered, they turned their gaze northward, seeking to expand their territory and power. Here we see the expedition to Shak Tural. Unable to cross the strait by ship, our forefathers set to building a bridge to the northern lands, a grand labor which consumed the greater part of a century. Zorgor the Boundless. We still make use of that bridge in Tuliolal for travel. I started reading it as their own character. I can't imagine the patience and dedication it took to complete a work of that scale. You know, we really don't do multi-generational construction projects anymore. That's something like humanity's just stopped doing. But I've never heard of any Yok Huy living in Shak Tural. What happened to the ones who went north? Look upon the next mural and hold the answer. The scene suggests that many giants perished all at once. What manner of enemy could have repelled their invasion? A foe unnamed and unseen. When the expedition pushed forth into Shak Tural those 1,000 years ago, its soldiers were felled by disease. Some terrible illness? No virulent plague or newly arisen blight. For the local Tonawatwa and Shitona, it was but a mild affliction of the sort that comes with the turning of the seasons. What manifested for them was slight fevers and coughs, however proved deadly to our people. 1 out of every 10 Yok Huy who joined that northern campaign, 9 succumbed to the infection. Those who survived continue to suffer, finding it difficult to sire offspring. They unleashed the genophage. I've heard of this before. Lacking an inherited resistance, visitors to distant lands can fall deathly ill to diseases a local might shrug off. These events might also have given rise to the practice of cremation rather than the burial of mortal remains. This final mural depicts the return of our grieving brethren to Urkopacha. The reason they first left, why they had fought so long and pushed so far, was to ensure peace for our homeland. This undertaking began in ancient times, when our forebears learned they shared the continent with peoples unlike us in appearance or custom. They feared invasion was inevitable. Rather than meekly await their fate, they decided to strike the first blow. Yet as they fought on and on, the old idea of peace drifted further and further away. Only after the disaster in Shaktaral and their withdrawal to the mountains did they come to understand. The peace we envisioned had been ours for the taking all along. It was here, in the place which birthed us, here in the stones upon which we recorded our days, here in this tranquil life we had traded for conquest and conflict. When you do nothing but fight, it can blind you to what's right before your eyes. And so we return to the present. I trust you found this brief history of our people enlightening. I'm always glad to learn more about my fellow Terali, how you've lived until now, and how you wish to live from now on. Then I believe you are ready to proceed. The High Luminary bids you meet him upon the summit of Warkor Zormor. I had a feeling we'd end up scaling that big old mountain. Well, it's a feat worthy of the name. Follow the trail south of here to begin your ascent, but be wary. Beyond the entryway, the mountainside is home to ferocious beasts, both mundane and otherwise. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the warning and the lesson. Finally, we know where we're going. To the top of Warkor Zormor. They got reverse pox blanketed. They sure did. They got War of the Worlds did. You read the stream title, that Skullface should have destroyed the English language, actually. No, man. If I'd known we'd be climbing Warkor Zormor, I might not have raced up and down all those trails. My feet are killing me. This thin mountain air is gonna be the death of me. Well, how long have you been standing there? I was just taking in the scenery is all. Come on, we don't want to fall too far behind Alfino and the others. Where are we going? We going up the mountain, which is now hidden from sight. Up the mountain. So these wounds left by Valley Garmonda never stop burning. I feel like that'd be very valuable in its own way. Ah, hello. You remember how the chronicler was saying the more they fought, the further away they moved from their idea of peace? It occurs to me that if Zarel Jah is attempting the feat of proof, then he will have heard that same lesson. I can only hope that it's made him reconsider his own stance on educating people through war. His answer was, no, I'm built different. It is me who will educate them. I will learn nothing.
Gods, that is one tall mountain, and we're supposed to climb it?
Yes, no learn, only succeed. Alright. Do not expect to walk here unchallenged. Tell me, stunted ones, did those short legs bring you all the way from Tuliolol?
He's speaking the old Yok Huy tongue. The words are difficult to catch.
Though your words are crude and cumbersome, I use them for your benefit. You are a claimant in this right of succession.
That's right.
Then, if you die, Tuliolal loses a potential ruler.
That's a dark thing to say, friend. I get the feeling you don't share the opinions of the other Yok Huy we've met.
We do not grovel before Gulul, Jar Jar, like those shameless lapdogs.
I see.
My brethren and I are conquerors, and we will restore our people to their rightful place as Tural's overlords.
The Giants have their own factions too, it seems.
You think your kin weak for showing deference to my father, but they do not follow the man. It is his peace they respect, a peace they always wanted, which they realize could be had right here.
Justifications of the craven. They turn their gaze from our ancestors, from the dream we kept alive for 1,000 years and more.
Just another guy thinking about the good old days. TM.
They are unworthy of bearing our legacy. I will reclaim the glory of our people. And our ascension begins with the death of the third promise.
Stop! I don't want to fight you.
They chose, like, the least threatening of the three. Or at least the least likely to kill them. Oh.
Opportunistic vermin seek to feast on us, do you?
We are conquerors. I will reclaim our birthright. Oh no, a bird! Ah!
Get down here. Your neck will be the first I snap this day.
That's right.
Did the great sword block? What a scrub. Nobody uses that move. Well, there it goes. Yeah, the writing on their helmet says, "Make Yok Huy great again."
Why do you help us?
I didn't put much thought into it. My legs were moving before I knew what was happening.
She fucking hates birds. We too hate birds.
I suppose I feared you'd die before we had the chance to get to know each other. Before I could learn more about you.
Yeah, she is a cat. The thing came in and you saw her just like clicking at it. You know that thing cats do.
To what end?
Oh, that's simple. If we're to share the land, it's the best way for us to become friends.
Damn. You got the power of friendship.
He'll live. Not quite ready to walk under his own strength, however.
If you could stay and tend to him, the rest of us will continue on to Wok Zormor.
Understood.
This changes nothing. We will not forsake our conquest.
That's fine. We now know that if we want to beat you, we just have to bring some fucking birds.
As you like. You want to kill me, you're welcome to try. But right now, you might want to worry about your comrade.
Not birds.
On a mountain of that size, there are bound to be creatures even I've never heard of. I'll trust you to lead the way.
Then we climb.
Fucking birds.
Others waiting.
Samga's like, finally, I get to fight something. That's a big old mountain. Climb and fight! Two things she's good at. She climb, she fight, and climb. Alright. Invites going out. I will give more people a minute to show up if they want. I will BRB really quick. So we'll just get that sorted. Alright. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I see Frederick found his way here. Very good, okay. We're back. Get in here. Are we ready? For Work or Zormor? You better work or Zormor. I'm not picky. Alright. Let's go. Woo! You like this dungeon? It's an alright dungeon. She's gonna be using forks. Use the forks. Want a hot body? You want a Maserati? You better work, Zor. Exactly. Let's go. So we were complaining about how thin the air was in Urkopacha. How thin is the air up here? Hold on. Like, it must be quite thin, right? Yeah, how cold is the air up there? It's probably fucking freezing. Remember we saw these like weird like purple coral things and we're like theory crafting as to what it meant? Some sort of new energy source that isn't ceruleum. And it turns out, yeah, it's electricity. Because electricity is purple in this world. The exotic power source of electricity. Yep, closer than we thought. Closer than we dared imagine. Look at this creep. Get a load of this creep. Easy. Kind of just zoning out and DPSing. Woo! Such is the way. Easy. Easy. Died with his eyes wide open. Staring up at the sky in utter, transfixed disbelief. Run this a little, you forgot that guy? Yeah. Didn't really wind up doing a lot of these dungeons. The one people really spammed the hell out of was Vanguard, which I feel like Vanguard's kind of overrated. Yeah, no reason to do them. I will say Vanguard was the first dungeon in the MSQ where the gear actually like started to outstrip your tome stuff from the last expansion. Yeah, exactly. There's always one, and you always got to figure out which one it is, because like in Stormblood it was Bardom's Metal. Hate how the healer casters opposites. Yeah, the Gunblade out of Vanguard looks like a fucking handheld vacuum cleaner. Enjoyed the track from there. I can barely remember the track. I just remember one part of it. I think overall, for me, Dawntrail was a bit of a miss on the music, but that's because I don't like the leitmotif. And Soken loves using leitmotifs, so... Yeah, it's not like there aren't songs in this expansion that I like. Like, I also just like the normal battle theme. Couple of songs you like, alright, especially the night music, yeah. Like, I don't much care for a lot of the FF9 music in this expansion, but I feel like it didn't earn it. which is part of the problem. All right. It's that fucking bird that the Yok Huy absolutely got bodied by. Yeah, I also wish they used 9 better. I was thinking, like, what could have made me pog is if they did the FF10 stuff. Could you imagine during, like, the fucking final fight with Sphene, it suddenly cuts into Otherworld? Man. Otherworld is such an easy pop for me. Yep. I was having a really hard time targeting that. Weird. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Flips are not Frederick. I feel like the way Machinist moves is very much not proper gun use. In fact, it kind of feels like their design document for how Machinist moves was like, what are the worst possible motions for firing a gun? And they couldn't have you shoot yourself in the head because Persona 3 already did that. These motherfuckers right here that don't come in. I hate them. Nope. A spear. Oh my god. There he is. Straight out of FF11, except in this game it's not going to take 150 players to kill him.
I am Purfurur, Elector of the Dawn Servant. Prepare to be tested.
Here we go.
Prove you are worthy to rule. Chronicles of it. Retell the hunger of roiling waters. Chronicles of it. Recount the fury of erupting beaks. I will take the measure of your resolve.
He's just punching. Yes, I'm be down to fight this guy. He's just a big, strong punch man.
Be mine. Spirit of my brethren, your thunder roars! That you should endure my fury. Chronicles of Hell, record the cruelty of merciless storms.
I'll do it. Why not? We're here. This wasn't too hard. In fact, pretty easy. Is that a... I forgot that was a thing. Oh, that's what happened. So the earrings of slaying were up. The game instantly dropped a pair of earrings of slaying into my inventory just as the roll finished on them. So I won the roll for them and they fucking bounced off my inventory. You think you did well? Did you? Did you, Kryl? Did you do well? I don't much care for the way this game treats the dungeons, like you're just trusting, like doing them with trust runs. In what world? I already have my crew. Yeah, she did something in another universe. The only guy being honest right here.
Very good, Claimant. Once more, I name myself Gur Fulur, High Luminary to my people, and chosen Elector of the Dawn Servant.
Yeah, Kona's VA, or Kona's VA. I remember that.
In the village?
All Yok Huy were once my equal in size, but ever since we were decimated by disease, it is rare to see a child reach our former stature.
You speak of the contagion which afflicted the Shatural expedition. The one recorded in your murals.
It is a chapter of our history that is entangled with the legend of the Golden City.
I've heard that legend originated with the Yok Huy. Is this true?
With the visions our ancestors had, to be precise.
The visions.
Preceding the campaign into Shatural, many were visited by dreams of glittering splendor. They described a paradise that knew neither war nor famine, where people lived lives of eternal happiness. A single dreamer might have been dismissed, but when dozens, if not hundreds, spoke the same, the luminaries became convinced it was divine revelation.
Then the expedition.
Its purpose was to find the City of Gold. Yes, help was marshaled from all the territories under our control. Lands were scoured on a massive scale.
Ah, little wonder the legend is so similar across Tural. Those involved with the search would have passed the stories down to their children.
Another claimant, I see. I will test your worth, as I have tested those who came before you.
Just flicks them off the side of the mountain. Beep. There's the monster energy.
Here and now, I think he means.
Protect me, Thancred. You alright, Urianger?
Well fought, second promise. For you and your sister's success in performing the feat of proof. You both shall be rewarded.
I think it would be very funny if it came back and all three of them were just dead on the ground. He just turns back to our party. Anyway, what was I saying?
3 to go.
Melon.
How glorious it would have been to race thee and thine to the summit. Though mayhap not whilst being hounded by Bakul Jaja and his minions.
Again, that swine shows his disdain for the right.
Strangely, despite his eagerness to antagonize us, he withdrew as soon as we fought back in earnest. I cannot fathom what he was trying to achieve. On a similar note, I'm also curious as to why you chose the peak of Warkor Zormor for the conclusion of this feat. The earlier stages saw us learn the history of the Yok Huy. Does this location also hold some special meaning for your people?
Yes, it is a place of great significance.
All these monuments. Is this a burial ground?
No, it's just a cool arena. First you get high, then we get high.
Pulls out a pipe.
Every high luminary before me is enshrined in this earth. Alongside them are the heroes who bravely stood their ground when Valigarmanda brought ruin to Urkopacha 8 decades past.
That explains why there are so many.
Zorolja, I should have known you'd arrive here first.
I also don't like the Azem crystal excuse.
Ah! Third promise. How relieved I am to find you in good health.
I do like his like shit talking while slightly out of breath line read. That's pretty funny.
Zorolja, you bastard! I should end you here and now!
Remember where you are. You will mind your conduct, or you will leave.
Right. Sorry.
I see no reason to delay further. Show me my father's sepulchre.
Papa has a grave?
I mean, you know the rules. You know how they work. We were just told.
Upon this monument are inscribed the names of those who sealed away the monstrous Valigarmanda. Your fathers included.
Is it a coincidence that it has like 2 peaks at the top instead of all the others having just 1?
Gulul Jaja, Master of Resolve and Reason, Champion of Peace.
Look at this one. Kettenram, Navigator of Uncharted Oceans.
Kettenram, the Laminton explorer. Does this mean he joined Galul Jaja on his travels?
Right here in Kettenland? That's what he called it, by the way. You're not Tyrol, you're Kettenland. That's how this works.
Kafkiwa, seeker of the unknown. How strange to see your name here.
Yep, the dumbest lore book trivia.
It was unheard of to build living sepulchres for those who were not Yok Huy. But their great deed demanded recognition.
Master of resolve and reason, champion of peace. Papa really did some amazing things.
He carved his path with martial skill.
Yet it was clever thinking which allowed him to trap Valigarmanda within its own ice magics.
Martial skill and clever thinking. I can't compete with Zorolja's mastery of the Head of Resolve's techniques. And when it comes to knowledge, Kona's the one who most takes after the Head of Reason. Is there anything that I've gotten from Papa? Something I do better than the others?
Well, what else does he do aside from being strong and being smart?
What else defines him?
Yeah, if only they had listed 3 things your dad was good at.
Oh, of course. Papa's love for peace, for his people. That is what he's given me. And I'm fighting to preserve the peaceful Tural he built.
Speaking of, Papa's love for the Crunchwrap Supreme.
What in the hells was that?
I am the head of Crunch.
You must return to Warlar's Echo immediately. Valigarmanda has broken free.
I presume that was about the unholy sound?
Valigarmanda is free.
Oh, take it.
There, now!
How fortuitous. We have been gifted an opportunity to outpace our rivals.
The head of Crunch joke almost got you killed in front lines. Yeah. I must teach our people to live mass, like Papa would have done. All right. We're on our way back. We talked about it briefly during Porp's Fortnite stream, but Limp Bizkit being in the DMC trailer has put that fucking song in my head for days, and I am very displeased. But that song is cringe in such a specific way that I feel like whoever made the trailer understood the assignment. You know? Like, it was cringe in the way that DMC is cringe. Non-zero chance Fred Durst appears in that anime. Well, why not? The opening is weird because the opening has that fucking field with all the swords in it and like the Red Queen's there, but like Johnny Young Bosch has to voice Dante. And I know that he would rather Ruben Langdon voice Dante, but he's like stepping up. And frankly, I feel like if anyone's got to do it, at least Johnny Young Bosch knows, you know, Devil May Cry and gives a shit about it. Like, I don't think it's bad that he's in. I just think it's a weird choice. Yeah. Yeah, he said he'd gladly give up the role if Ruben wants it. Even drag him back into acting. Good, you're back. There's much I would explain, but by the time I arrived to investigate a sudden surge in ether, there were already fallen giants everywhere. Right now, everyone is preoccupied with treating the wounded. Pray, catch your breath, and then lend a hand where you can. Alright. Ganon, Devil May Cry. I don't think I've ever seen that. An echo of madness. If you're ready, there are many injured here who need aid. Should you find anyone passed out from their wounds, I ask that you alert me to them. Otherwise, I'll be tending to whomever requires the most urgent healing. We can gather here once we've seen to the people's hurts. Yeah, right there, Yorga War. Coughing up a lung. Send it to me over Discord. Let's take a look. Oh. Okay, well, I'll look at this later. You, the third promise is protector. Everything was bathed in bright red. A searing heat enveloped my entire body. I couldn't move. And then somebody grabbed my underwear from behind and pulled it up really hard. I remember Ruben Langdon was the guy who suggested that you hire Power Rangers to do all the DMC things. Oriange says fire ether pervades the entire village. What happened here? Many of the villagers sustained burns, but the fire found no purges in these stone buildings. Small mercy. Yeah, it was a good call. Ugh. Everything burns. The touch of cloth is agony, yet I will live. Leave me. There are others in more dire need of help. Well, at least it's snowing. Cool you off a bit there, buddy. The fact that, like, you can tell in a lot of those scenes in a lot of the Devil May Cry games that they're, like, physically acting in, like, the motion capture studio in the same room together. Like that scene where, right after Virgil reappears in 5 and Dante and Nero are yelling at each other. They are yelling over each other in such a way that it's very clear they were in the room together when they recorded that scene. Ugh. My wounds are nothing serious, but this dryness in my throat, it is as if all the moisture has left my body. Yeah. Good stuff. What a great game franchise. DMC has a lot of that John Wick, made by stun people for stun people energy. Yeah. Like, Killer Bean. done all I can for now. The injured you found were awake and alert then? That as well. Tokusatsu is very underappreciated for how much DNA it has with modern action. I agree. We've left the injured as comfortable as we could. Many were suffering from burns to a greater or lesser degree. Did a fire sweep through the village? The details are unclear. Once I'd healed the giant attacked by that mountain bird, the group's leader, Vorporlor, I believe they called him, bade me depart. It was then that I felt an intense wave of ether and returned to find Warlord's echo in this state. I rushed over to the first giant I saw. Though delirious with pain, he repeated the same thing. Valley Garmonda is broken free. Thus did I contact you with all haste. Well, we're gonna need more information than that before we can deal with the situation. Yes, we should speak with the temple guard and see what's become of the Sky Ruins prison. It is interesting to me that the head of reason is like a powerful mage, but like the head of reason equivalent. So the second promise is not like a mage at all. He's a technology boy. Be glad to learn that this was also a misunderstanding, a futile hope by the look of things. They did say the prison was beginning to fail, but I felt certain it would hold for another few years at least. Was I mistaken? Whatever answers exist await us inside the temple. High Luminary will return by now. Hopefully he's found out more than we have. We need to find out exactly what's going on. Alright. The High Luminary grants you entry and awaits you within. Get in there, samurai. We have a town to not burn.
What happened?
So it's true. The ice has failed.
Surmurwar, tell them what you told me.
A short while ago, a claimant paid us a visit.
Oh, the power of summarizing through an echo vision instead of just being told. The power of show, not tell.
Who enters this hollowed hall? Ah, a claimant.
Oh, and here we have the mighty Valley Garmonda.
A terrifying Vitral. With every awakening, it has seared its ruinous name into the memories of a new generation.
What a good little terror. You've stayed napping right up until the day I needed you.
Explain yourself.
It is as they say. Kulul Jaja caused its magic to run rampant, trapping it in a frozen prison of its own creation. Clever. Clever. To unmake it, it would be quite tricky.
Zermor's VA being told, so you essentially voiced two guys who were bad at their job, and the VA agreed? Oh no.
Two spells must be cast at the exact same moment. A conflagration intense enough to melt the ice, and awakening flame to rekindle the slumbering Vitral's soul. The only ones capable of such harmonious execution would be the heads of reason and resolve.
and the blessed siblings, Bakul Jaja.
You mustn't!
But I already have. Rise and rage, little terror.
Yeah, the fact that he was just like allowed to continue in the contest after this was wacky as shit. Yeah, so does he come with the hat, or like, what is that? Who dressed him? Did he dress himself?
Why have you done this?
For the throne, of course.
You unleash calamity for your own gain? Have you any idea how many may die?
Wreak havoc, Valigarbanda. Live up to your legend.
Like, he's lucky it just kind of worked out and nobody got hurt. Like, I don't think anyone even died.
A messenger to Tuli Yolol has been dispatched. The Landsguard will send a contingent, I am sure. But there is no telling when they will arrive.
That idiot! This monstrous act is a step too far, even for him.
So, what's the plan?
If we leave the withdrawal to others, it will be a massacre. Some might call it the wiser choice, if I don't want to fall behind the competition. But I could never live with myself. And my supporters deserve a better ruler.
I'd say that's sound judgment.
So that's that. I will stay and fight Valigarbanda. This is an enemy so powerful that even my father failed to slay it. Alone, I don't stand a chance. I understand you've no obligation to aid me outside the right of succession. But for the sake of Urkopacha and its people, I beg you, join me in this battle.
This is the first thing we've done that has been like precisely in the Warrior of Light's wheelhouse. The most qualified. This is the kind of challenge I live for.
Drawn to the chaos. You're as bad as Papa. Don't worry. The Sky Ruin should prove a big enough challenge for all of us.
I'll fight your weird auspice.
From us to abandon a dear comrade in her time of need.
Dear comrades now, eh? I have to say, it does have a comforting ring to it. Knowing someone has your back makes it easier to do what you have to do.
Start writing my paycheck, that's right.
And what will we do? One committed to winning the contest above all else would race on ahead.
So we will do just that.
If you resolve to slay Vali Garmanta, we'll need to find out where the beast went.
That's what we have you for, old friend.
Inform the Pelu of the danger. They may need to flee to lower ground.
Like, I'm unsure if I would have liked it better if maybe Bakul Jaja would have freed Valley Garmanda out of like a really foolhardy, like, I'm gonna thaw him out and kill him myself. Or if like this way was better. Thought about that while I was watching the cutscene. Should a claimant reckless enough to free the Skyru and become Dawn Servant, what would become of Tuliolal? Fiend Bakul Jaja. He's rotten through and through. There's nothing blessed about him. Yeah, it's real stupid. If he freed Valley Garmanda out of desperation that he'd never clear the right after Mamuk. That would be interesting. That would kind of alter the chain of events, because would we know his story, or would we have to go back to the cenote to hear his story? Like, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, the logic's there. If he's convinced that since, like, Galul Jaja defeated Valley Garmanda, he could do it too easy because he's also a blessed sibling, right? Pair of blessed siblings could just do it again, so I'm gonna thaw him out and beat his ass. It makes him seem like more of a bumblefuck, which he kind of is, but... Two spellcasters releasing spells of fire at the exact same moment. A feat impossible for any but a two-headed Mamulja. I said I would take on the duties of a guide. That did not include the tracking of an ancient and terrible Tural Vidral. Still, we can't leave Valley Garmanda free to ravage the land. Not just that he can do it, but it's the only way left for him to convince people he should be Dawn Servant, yeah. So, Erenville, any ideas on how we can track Valley Garmanda? The tried and true method of comparing sightings with other signs of passage is the most relatable, but also the most time-consuming. There is a second option, not as reliable as the first, but if we get lucky, it'll let us ascertain the Sky Ruins' whereabouts far more quickly. Though a Tural Vidral is of extraordinary nature, Valley Garmanda is still a creature of this world. Like you and me, it's thus sustained by corporeal energy and possesses a unique ethereal balance, which means this device should come in handy. Yeah, there was really no, like, indication of how much pressure... Like, there was a bit of indication, actually, of how much pressure Bakul Jaja was under, but they kind of, like... He's kind of a cackling villain for a lot of the story. Yeah. A floating hand? Now's not the time to be playing with toys. Yep, then the mustache comes off, and then he's a one-piece villain. This is no toy, it's an ether seeker. As the name suggests, gleaners use it to detect the ether of living beings. You've had that in your pack this whole time? I can calibrate it to follow a specific ethereal aspect. Oh, yawn. The problem with Valley Garmanda, however, is that it can shift freely between the elements of fire, ice, or lightning. Yeah, Erenville spent 2 achievement tokens. Well, we know that in order to awaken Valley Garmanda from its icy imprisonment, Bakul Jaja cast spells which quickened its fire aspected ether. And the residents here were uniformly afflicted by burns. Therefore, the logical conclusion is that upon breaking free, Valigarmonda unleashed a great fiery blast. Then the choice is plain, fire. Seiko, however, is not without its faults. As we were not able to input our quarry's unique etheric signature in advance, the device will respond to any living source of fire-aspected ether. So we have the reliable yet slow method of gathering versus the potentially swift but easily misled gleaner tool. I say why not pursue both methods at the same time? Good idea. We'll have the first to fall back on if the second fails. You traveled me then, Samga, in case the seeker leads me to some other fiery fiend. The rest of us can stay behind and talk to eyewitnesses. The more Sky Ruins sightings we can compare, the more accurate our information will be. If no one has any objections, I shall remain here in the village and tend to the Yok Huy. Very few were seriously injured, but I'm wary of wounds inflicted by a creature like Valigarmonda. Should like to be close at hand should their condition suddenly worsen. Turns out Valigarmonda unleashed his secret fourth etheric power. Extreme radiation. Right, sounds like we all have work to do. The element of surprise. That's right. You have been taken by surprise. Geiger counter, yeah. We should be on our way as well. Let's go! What are you pointing at? We'll head to the outskirts of the village first, then use the Seeker to detect fire-aspected ether. You're not sure if you'll be available for the Valigarmonda fight after this fetch quest? Okay. That does remind me, though. So we got that live letter coming on Friday. You guys got anything you're, like, hoping for? Anything on the wish list? Gonna be weird to do Valigarmonda without Fire Phase. That's a cool tank buster. The Valigarmonda tank buster I actually kind of like. It's like an interesting new take on it. Alright, the Seeker's ready to go. Warlord's Echo is still suffused with the Sky Rune's residual ether, so I've excluded it from the search data to prevent it from swamping the sensors. Let's begin tracking, shall we? Okie dokie. Yeah, be cool to see the new zone. I'm really I'm like dreading the trial series, if that makes sense. Because I'm really worried that it's just going to be in the MSQ. And I don't want it to just be in the MSQ like the last set was. Not quite the legendary creature we were after. Don't worry, because we won't be doing... Yeah. Do you mind dealing with that fire sprite? I'll continue to confuse the Seeker if we leave it be. Yeah, too many people with too many other things to do. Gotta reconvene when we all retire, for real. A necessary measure, I'm afraid. Let's try this again. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the space exploration thing is because the technology does not look like it's using electrope, and I'm down for any like tech that doesn't use electrope. It's looking a little Garlean. That's my hope. New Garlean tech, new Garlean equipment. That's the other thing that the next patch is gonna give us. It's gonna give us the second tier of tombstone gear. Let's see what that looks like. Frightening enough, but again, not what we're looking for. If you would be so kind. Garland showed me this piece of trash called electrope. What utter garbage. It's not even red. We should be getting relics. I imagine they're probably trying to time it with the new open world content. My thanks. I'd ask if it gave you any trouble, but considering who I'm talking to. Seeker, resume tracking and do try to point out something useful this time. Affirmative, resuming tracking. I do wonder if the gods sleeping in the ocean trench are like anything. Still have only 3 jobs to go over 100. I have jobs that still have to hit level 90. I hate playing ranged jobs. Another remnant of Valley Garmonda's last rampage. The crater's flames registered to the Seeker as corporeal ether. In the words of the Tuliolal saga, when Valley Garmonda rages out of control, its fire burns forever, as its ice does not thaw and its lightning crackles without cease. Thus was the Dawn Servant able to turn the Sky Ruin's perpetual magic against itself, trapping it within an unmelting prison of ice. This is no mundane fire, but some kind of everlasting sorcery. Once again, it's a strange feeling to see fanciful poetry proven true. The important thing is that this fire is classified as living ether. We can feed a sample into the Seeker to greatly improve its accuracy. One moment. I feel like this is the type of enemy that like the Elegans would absolutely love to like plug into their giant, we're gonna suck the ether out of these things perpetually engines. If this thing can cast magic that somehow lasts forever. There, now the Seeker should ignore any etheric signature but Valley Garmonda's. Had I realized this was possible from the start, then you needn't have fought those creatures at all. My apologies, it seems I still have much to learn from this journey, and as a gleaner. And a guide. This time, the Seeker should be attracted solely to Valley Garmonda's ether. Resume tracking based on the latest sample. Affirmative! Resuming tracking. Beep. Sample ethereal signature detected. Engaging accelerated pursuit mode. Alright. Mount up. Why do Charlayan automatons need to be so sassy? Good question. I don't know. Because they're British. That's probably it. Is ether in it? Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing what the Shades Triangle is going to be like. I want any sort of sign of trials that aren't part of the MSQ. Beastmaster would be interesting. Somebody mentioned that the Beastmaster is probably going to be the Mamulja, the third tribe, the Dalpro. That's what they are. Probably going to be their thing, which kind of dashes hopes of any continuation of the Evil East story. But we can still hope that the Beastmasters from Bozia are part of that. Good. The Seeker was drawn directly to the Sky Ruin's fire. Now we know we've set the correct parameters for its ethereal aspect. I'll try increasing the threshold for etheric concentration. That should direct us to the Tural Vidral itself. Recalibrating sensors. Resuming tracking. Woo! Off he goes. But yeah, how gun shy they are. Bozzy after the player response. They should respect their own setting more. Fuck the player response. Believe in your vision. Yeah, make art. Believe in your own thing, please. If you don't believe in it, how am I gonna believe in it? Yeah, give your creators the resources they need. I was thinking the other day about how the FF14 team must be constantly just run off their feet. Did you guys see the thing about WoW is going to be implementing player housing, and their fucking announcement like took real fucking direct aim at FF14? I think we'd notice if Valley Garmondo was inside this passage. Let's head through to the other side. They basically said anyone who wants a house will get a house. There's no fucking lotteries. There's no lapsing system. So if you don't show up, you're gonna keep your house. You know? They are doing custom neighborhoods. So like you can form a neighborhood with your friends. They're basically doing a better version of FF14's housing system. And I feel like it's like people like, oh man, this is way better than FF14's, and like I wonder if it's just the fucking spaghetti code that 14 is built on is just fucking killing it. Because there are a lot of things I don't like about WoW, the people playing it being chief among them, but I feel like in terms of its systems, WoW was always a lot more like able to change and do some weird bullshit than 14 was. Creative Business Unit 3 needs more resources than fucking Foam Stars or FF7 First Soldier. Whatever Square Enix is pissing away. Their mobile game thing is such a fucking like... It takes very little to develop. You don't have to support it for long. You just throw it out there, rake some money in, and then kill it. That is like... That is just their mobile game model, it feels like. And I feel like 14's team isn't getting the things they need to like really fix the game. Because a lot of people forget that Final Fantasy XIV 2.0 was a big overhaul on the game using the existing Crystal Tools engine because Square Enix was not confident that it would succeed. Like, they really weren't confident that the relaunch would succeed, so they didn't put as much into it as they should have, I think. The hell was Square confident in 2013? I don't know if they were confident in anything. Ever Crisis. I don't think it's controversial to say that the stuff in Ever Crisis probably shouldn't be in Ever Crisis only. There should be a more accessible way for people to like see this important story shit. Especially if they're going to be showing up in the remake games. I don't think that's a controversial take at all. Yeah, you can just watch Justinian Knight stream it, exactly. I mean, that's how I know. I know all this extra stuff because of Nox. You just need to have a friend who likes Final Fantasy VII so much that you look at yourself and think, do I even really like Final Fantasy VII? Oh, your popcorn's done.
The trail ends here, it seems. Could Valigarmanda have shifted its elemental aspect? It does have 3 to choose from, after all. In any case, I'm almost certain the Vitral was headed in the direction of Warkor Lardor.
Warkor Larboard.
We should let the others know we have a likely location.
Alphino is assisting the Yok Huy with their evacuation. He thought they could use a healing hand with the injured.
So where is Valigarmanda?
Warkor Lardor. Its stratified layers contain a wealth of crystals, said to be the source of its many-colored glow. After 80 years of imprisonment, the Vitral will be in dire need of sustenance. It would have been drawn to the mountain's energy.
It's gonna give those mountains the big suck.
So Valigarmanda seeks to replenish its ether.
Then we'd better not give it the chance.
Stop!
Enough!
That mountain is sacred ground. I forbid you to set foot on it.
Sorry, it is not our intention to trespass.
Okay, then you fucking go fight Valigarmanda, dickhead.
Valigarmanda has gone.
I know how great you are against birds. Let's see you fight that one.
If we don't slay it now, it will slaughter countless innocents. Just like in the old days, I beg you, permit us to enter.
No, Uklamot, you said the thing! They're like, yes, just like the good old days.
Out of the question.
Valigarmanda slaughtered innocents. Men were men, and women were women, and everyone else knew their place. It's like, all right, let's just take this guy and shove his head gently into the water and just hold it there for, like, I'd say 5 minutes.
Your band is incapable of defeating Valigarmanda. Either you seek to defile Warkor Lardor, or you are fools.
Yep, time's up, Grandpa.
If you doubt their chances, how would you feel were we to join them? The monument to Valigarmanda's defeat bears the names of 7 heroes. With our forces combined, we also number 7.
Seven weaklings.
things are no less doomed than four.
But
Zoralcha, you've come to help as well.
Against my sound advice. While the rest of you were tussling with this sky ruin, we might have secured an insurmountable lead. A minor delay. It will not change the contest's outcome. I would take the measure of this Tural withdrawal my father was unable to kill.
With both my brothers here, this battle is all but won.
Your celebration is premature. I never said I would let you pass.
this is a much less friendly person you're talking to.
Brother, no! We do not bear arms against our own people.
What an odd thing to say. As I recall, the inhabitants of Chir Wagur Sultan do not consider themselves members of the Tuliolal nation. I'd hardly call them our own people.
What does that matter? Members or not, everyone in Tural is part of our dream for peace. If you would hurt them, then you'll have to go through me.
And he's just like, okay.
She saved me from the mountain bird. Now, then, the same eyes. Eyes of stone. Words of stone.
Also, we're fucking trash against birds. Really strong counter pick.
We are still in her debt. This is true.
We are too big.
The debt repaid.
We can't jump. We've got no vert.
Do not misunderstand. We do not submit to Tuliolan rule.
Aye, you've made your point. We can talk more once the contest is over.
I ask your name.
Wuklamat, protector of peace, and soon-to-be Dawn servant.
She's having a shonen hero moment.
Even people with wildly different ideals can find understanding through earnest discussion. I believe that, wholeheartedly.
As do I. I won't give up until we reach a compromise.
She's a moralist!
Assuming you survive, my old bones and I will be waiting here for the true heir's return.
Your thoughts have always been a mystery to me, brother. But I'm relieved to see you put aside the contest for the sake of the greater good.
What did we decide? Wuklamat, moralist, Zoralja, fascist, and Kona, hyper-liberal?
Our nation is a fortress, and its people the bricks with which it is built. The more that are lost or broken, the weaker Tuliyolal becomes. Even the crudest rock has value as a stepping stone.
Come on, you two. Forget about the right of succession for now, and help me fight this overgrown snake bird. I don't care how strong the Sky Ruin may be. We're going to put this menace down for good.
Thought we were deciding. We all decided they were all Ninja Turtles. I mean, that's a separate thing. They can be both. They can be both. Why shouldn't they be? Not available for this. All right. Well, that's fine. I think that's everyone who's here. We'll just go straight in. We needn't speak. Thinking of fascist Raphael. Oh, Ron Ryu's out here somewhere. Don't remember what it actually is. That's fine. I got this. With the power of knowing where people are. All right. Oh, someone's doing, I forget what it's called. I forgot what it was called. Anyways. Ready check going out. All right, let's queue up. For Warcore Lardor. The Sky Ruin. Ugh. Ow. So I'm going for a swim. Hope we're far enough away from launch that we get people who know what they're doing. We'll see. I'm not that concerned, honestly. If I remember, no, I was gonna say if I remember, but no, I remember Valley Garmonda. Valley Garmonda has pretty straightforward mechanics that can be a little sneaky when he puts them together. I'm so force dispatch on normal. I am a little fascinated by like how bad the player base is sometimes. Like I'm always curious about like, okay, well what are they gonna be bad at? Like, how is the FF11 raid gonna get bad? You know? It's like a morbid curiosity. Warcore Lardor. There he is. With his spoken lines in this, so he is capable of communicating. Very strange. As one spoken line. And this convenient rectangle. Are Tyrell Vidrell just auspices? I believe they are. Alright. Let's do it to it. Again, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done this. Forget if he even speaks in 6. Yeah, any communication that he might do in 6 might just be like psychic. That it's not actually like said. Characters just react to it. I don't remember. Yeah, only speaks to Terra at first, and you assume that's a psychic thing. Most likely. Oh boy. Man. Samga, striking a pose. Okay, thanks. I gotta watch my bars too much on Monk still. I'm not comfy playing it. Okay. That bard's got bad instincts. Okay. If I remember right, in some language, Thule disaster is like slang, or he partially uses slang that basically means penis disaster. Specifically, circumcision. Oh man. Wow, wow, wow. Part of me wonders if that was like a bit of a cheeky joke. This is where it starts getting a little wacky, starts mixing mechanics. Yeah. Fun mechanics don't happen until they're nearly dead. Yeah, it's all really straightforward right up until like the last stretch. Like this is where he starts getting sneaky and he may not even live to fucking get sneaky. Yeah, he's not gonna do it. Like, that's really fucking bland. And Fina has actually sneaky mechanics, but you never see them, yeah. You really like this boss? He's a lot more interesting in EX, I'll give him that. I think as a boss fight in EX, he's alright. As a plot device, he kinda sucks. That's interesting, because, like, when I first played, like, we just fucking bulldozed them and didn't look back.
We did it. We slew Valigermanda. A feat that even the great Gulur Chacha couldn't manage. For you, Papa!
I just thought of something watching this scene.
There's no denying it was an impressive achievement, but I wouldn't be so quick to claim we've outdone Father.
I'll explain after this.
The Federal was weakened by decades of imprisonment. Had we faced it in its prime, we wouldn't have fared a fraction as well.
How can you say that? 80 years couldn't have made that much of a difference. Could it? Oh, who am I kidding? Papa's still the best.
Well, you have a ways to go.
right about that. I need to improve if I want to surpass the old man.
Never be satisfied.
The Sky Ruin lies dead. And still, I've yet to prove myself the miracle.
The miracle!
Well, I suppose we should head back and join Erenville.
How's that meant to be? It's like a miracle that he could be born at all. So, he's the super miracle baby. The super savior of Tyrol, I guess.
We did leave him with only Sarelja for company.
So he was born in the 90s, that's right. He was promised all sorts of shit. But the housing market wasn't there, job prospects were bad, and now he's feeling like a failure. I'm still giddy from our victory. Kona did well, and promise has promised too, don't you think? 'Tis fortunate we vanished that winged calamity, or it could inflict greater suffering upon these lands. Witnessing Zeralja in battle, I understand why he's widely considered to be Tuliyolal's greatest warrior. Didn't I tell you I pull my own weight in battle now? I don't know. I wasn't there. Whatever you guys were fighting. The matter of outdoing our father aside, this was the best outcome we could have hoped for. Never again will our people need fear the looming shadow of the Sky Ruin. Your proud expressions bespeak a successful hunt. Not that I'm surprised in the least. Zeralja came back earlier, but left almost immediately with Sarelja in tow. He seemed disinclined to share any victory celebrations. That's nothing unusual for Zeralja. No, it's Bakul Jaja that concerns me. He's probably far ahead now, making the most of the mayhem he caused. I still can't believe he did something so evil just to slow us down. If we hadn't slain Valigarmanda, wasn't only Urkopacha at risk, there could have been deaths across the entire continent. I'm more certain than ever that Bakul Jaja cannot be allowed to rule. I have to catch him and take back my keystone. Yes. The Yok Huy must still be anxious, wondering where and when Valigarmanda will strike next. I suggest we hurry back and allay their fears. Alfie knows as well, I should think. Yes, you're right. We shouldn't let them worry another moment. Okay. Thanks for the teleport. They're real lucky this thing isn't a primal. Once it dies, it's dead. Yeah. Primal summoning did not make its way over here. The New World seemed largely ignored by everything relating to the Ascians. Their efforts were entirely focused on the three great continents and Mericidia. Kinda weird, yeah. Leaf Ascian got to Vinland. Hey, thanks for the sub, Syncrophy. Before we do anything else, we should talk to Gerferler. Oh, I forgot I was going to talk about that idea. Alright, well, if there's a pause in this and it's not voice acted. It's voice acted, we keep going.
That won't be necessary, heroes of the hour. Valigarmanda is no more. Yours is a victory worthy of song.
We had plans for a second feat to be conducted here in town, but the recklessness of your fellow claimant has rendered them pointless.
A second feat?
The feat of ice. You were to fortify Valigarmanda's prison.
That would have been so advantageous to Kona.
How shall we proceed? High Luminary.
What more would we test, Zulmurwer? They have defeated the Sky Ruin and saved the gods know how many lives. If they are not worthy heirs to Kulul Jalja, then no one is. Now that our last claimant has arrived, we can proceed with the formalities. For the skill and bravery the three of you have shown, I award you each a second keystone.
Very good. It all worked out in the end. Another problem introduced and instantly solved. This one looks lime flavored. Oh. No, it's watermelon flavored.
That makes 5. Only 2 left to collect.
Except that one of those 5 is in Bakul Jaja's thieving hands. He will answer for that. And for losing Vallarmanda.
You have brought lasting tranquility to our home and earned the gratitude of every Yok Huy. May glory and prosperity continue to bless Tuliolol as we enter this new age.
Siscon. He's a Siscon. I don't make the rules. I'm just pointing out an objective fact.
If you're up for it, you should visit the capital. I'd like everyone to get to know you and your people better.
It's not like you gotta stand guard over anything now.
I'll consider it if it's one of you two who claims the throne.
Then you need only await a missive from Sunperch. I'll be sending out invitations.
Oh, confident.
Today is a day for unusual visitors.
You Woklamat, was it not? I doubted you could slay Valikarmanda, but the quiet skies proclaim your triumph.
Uh-huh.
Had the Vidral been suffered to roam free, it would have terrorized us all. Once again, we find ourselves in your debt.
We, a proud and long-suffering, bird-hating people.
You owe us nothing. We fought because we wanted to.
Yet a debt has been incurred. All the same, it will haunt me if I do not repay it.
I wouldn't even know what to ask for.
Perhaps he can tell us about the dreams of the Golden City.
Oh, good idea. That was on my list of questions I wanted to ask.
The Golden Dreams. Yes, we have records of our forebears and their visions from the time before the Shaktural expedition.
Uh-huh.
What did your forebears see?
A heavenly land,
never dying free from hardship and conflict. Every building was a palace, and in their midst reigned a silent goddess, a statue so tall even my kin would need lift their gaze to behold its visage.
Yeah, the mystery of what exactly the Golden City was interesting.
A statue of a goddess. That's new.
Aye, and compared to the abstract imagery we'd previously heard, this was a detailed description.
The dreamers were consumed by their visions, compelled to seek out the paradise they'd been shown. They journeyed to Shaktural, where they died in droves.
Yeah. They
Those who
fumbled the
come in search of
bag.
the Golden City do not return. The tales Wook Evu shared may have been rooted in historical fact.
Perhaps. Who can know the truth of it? Once our ancestors left the forest, there were no more dreams. No dreamers.
The forest.
The forest? What do you mean?
From the very first, the visions were set to visit only those who worked the quarries in Yaktel. But after they were ravaged by disease and saw fewer newborns, they were forced to abandon that territory. Once our people's withdrawal to Urkopacha was complete, we never again dreamed of the Golden City.
So only Yok Huy in that one specific area experienced the visions. Fascinating.
Yeah, the visions are 100 years ago in our time, but Sphne's only been queen for less than that. Time dilation, exactly. So time has been passing slower for the Alexandrians.
Well, we're headed to Yaktel next. Maybe we'll find out more when we get there. Thank you for sharing your stories with us.
I do not require gratitude. I merely repaid a debt. Farewell, Wook Lamat. I do not think our paths will cross again.
Suit yourself, bozo. So Yaktel is where the Yok Huy had their golden dreams. We may soon have the chance to investigate that tale firsthand. Heavenly land suffused with a golden glow. Only 2 keystones remaining. We've at last begun to gain a fuller picture of the legend of the Golden City. What a turn of events. Where we only meant to strengthen the ice. Or we were only meant to strengthen the ice, but Bakul Jaja's idiocy forced us to do them one better. So yeah, I was thinking, looking at the, like just at the final cutscene going out of Valley Garmonda. Talking about how like, well, you know, Valley Garmonda's been sealed up for 80 years, so it stands to reason you didn't fight it at full strength, so of course we beat it. Zoralja, knowing that, and then later in the story going on to fight and kill Galul Jaja when he's like old and decrepit. I would have been interested to see if maybe he took on almost like a paranoid fear of like getting old. Because this great beast and this like the mightiest warrior in all of Tural, both ravaged by time. Like martial strength always succumbs to the inevitable march of time, right? I would have been interested to see if he could maybe go insane trying to keep himself alive and young forever. So he starts like slurping up souls. Watching Vorpolor get caught up in Wuklamat's unstoppable wake reminds me of my younger days. Long has it been since any from the Chirwagger Saltern have disdained to enter Warlar's Echo. A day for unusual visitors indeed. I don't think Vorpolorum and his brethren will have any sudden change of heart about Tuliholal. That doesn't mean they'll never change at all. Today is proof of that. I mean, one of them is a hunt mark, and they're not going to be getting rid of that anytime soon. I think it's time we return to Tuliolal. After scaling Tural's tallest mountain and battling a legendary beast to the death, even dauntless heroes like you could probably use a rest. Yeah, alleged hunt mark. Well, he shows up en masse on the days where he's supposed to pop. To the point where, like, you almost need a kill order. In any case, there are preparations to be made before we can visit the next destination laid out in the saga. The respite would be most welcome. I believe I hear the forward cabins calling our names. I would be happy, probably at this point, to just get out of, like, a really dry environment. Samga needs to rehydrate. Actually, I bet you Samga would like it here quite a bit. It's probably a very similar climate to the one she grew up in, which was essentially a grass desert. Yeah, nice on the scales. Ugh. We gotta ride the whole way back, huh? The whole way back. You know what? I'm gonna do it just because we got 15 minutes left. We're probably gonna be ending it soon. That'll be all for Dawntrail this week. We're gonna be doing Civ 7 tomorrow, though. So look forward to that. I know I am. I don't know how much we're gonna get done in Civ 7, especially like the first time playing it. Like 3 hours isn't a lot for a Civ game. But the pacing of Civ 7 seems to be different. We might get an era done, maybe more than one era. That's kind of interesting that it's like broken up into rounds. Yeah, I'm excited too. I've been following some like dedicated Civ content creators and their thoughts on it. And the main consensus that I've heard is that it is very much a Civ game on launch. So don't expect it to be feature complete. But if you're okay with that, it's a lot of fun. And I played a lot of Humankind, which I know is the main stick people like to beat Civ 7 with. That they took a lot of things from Humankind, so I feel like I'll have at least a decent perspective and basis for comparison there. We'll see. That said, I've been playing other 4X games, and I mean, I played a lot of Humankind. Humankind was really rough at the start. It's gotten a lot better. It's gotten a lot better. I've been playing Warhammer 40k Gladius, which is the 40k 4X game, which is literally just a 4X game with only combat. Diplomacy would be weird in a 40k game. And also I went back to play some Endless Legend now that Endless Legend 2 has been announced, and hoo boy, Amplitude really improved their UI game with Humankind. 4X games live or die on their UI. For sure. There's so much information you have to sift through, right? Anyways, let's go back. Talk to the Hoobigo skipper. Didn't click with it at first. Yeah, there are things about Humankind that bother me, like, I don't know if you found this, but I found it was actually kind of hard to keep track of who I was fighting and who my opponents were when the eras would change and the name of their civilization would change. So I'd be like, okay, I'm doing battle against, you know, the Mongols, and then suddenly, okay, now they're Mexico. And it's like, who's Mexico? Which one of my opponents became Mexico? Like, you know? The fact that Civ 7 is leaning really hard on specifically like the leader is set in stone. And get quite that far, you're struggling to learn just the basics of tile management and exploration. There are things I don't like about Humankind, like it's really more of like a thing I don't like about Amplitude 4X games where they've already divided the map into provinces and you just like drop a settlement in the province to claim the province wholesale. So like the territories are already divided up. You don't get to like set a city down and make your own territory by expanding your reach. I don't much care for that. I prefer it the Civ way. Ugh. And then yeah, tile management is a lot more complicated. And it's actually, I think, gonna be closer to how they do it in Civ 7, but I think Civ 7 made it a bit easier. Because Civ 7 has no builders! They're gone. Anyways, rest well, everyone. We can meet back here later on. I have a small errand to run in the city, so I'll leave you to recover. Will you be heading to the palace, Wooklamat? Wooklamat, did you hear me? Lost in our own little world, it seems. Well, no matter. I'll be back soon enough. An attendant is standing by to unlock your cabin. Enjoy your stay. You all right there? The best way I know. How can I leave Mass like Papa? That's gonna be interesting because yeah, I feel like a really important part of the early game for Civ is knowing when and where to use your builders, right? You got 3 builds, you gotta decide when, where, and how. And then yeah, Civ 5 had like the unlimited builders. I got pretty comfy with builders in Civ 6 though. Like the thing I usually did was I would save money and my first like purchase was usually buying builders. What was my build order? It was just like, you get a scout, now you get a warrior, you build a scout, and then you either build a second scout or a slinger, depending on what you find moving around. And if you're feeling spicy about not building up your defenses, you could go for a monument right away. But But anyways, that's talk for another time. We can talk about that tomorrow when we play Civ 7. But yeah, this was a good time, guys. We're very quickly hurrying towards the more interesting parts of the Dawntrail MSQ. That early bit, the fucking Urko Pacha Kozama Uka split, is brutal. Once you get to the second half of Urko Pacha, it gets more interesting. Yeah, most of the exposition's over. We're starting to get into the meat of the expansion now. And it's about damn time. But anyways, what else? Have you guys been enjoying February? Those of you doing it. I have finished up to day 15, I think. Let me check. You're not hating it, so it's a sign. I would be shocked if you did, considering you're the one who made the list. 16 is squad. I feel like I'm expected to do something very specific for squad, and I would hate to disappoint people. Which is Butte. I'm sure one of these could be Butte. What do I have for some of these? I gotta look. I'm wheeling out a new character for this year's February. All right, so Vision is next. Okay, got that one. Sleep, Crystal, Heaven, Class. Okay, Fight, Journey. Okay, Journey is really stupid. Storm, Love, an NPC. Okay, yeah, maybe next year. It's tough. I find I get a little neurotic about doing February when I really don't need to. I get it in my head like gotta get it done, gotta get it done, gotta get it done, and I wind up getting it done like half a month ahead of schedule. It's actually really annoying. I get something on my mind and I can't leave it alone, like a dog with a bone, you know? So like, I'm gonna be thinking about it until it's over. But that's just the thing, you know? We'll get it done. We'll get it done. I do think it's interesting that my numbers on Twitter for February have been awful, but my Valentine's Day post really kicked off. Yeah. It's because it's easy. It's an easy meme. We're in the meme industrial complex now. Ah, well, no big deal. No big deal. The gormless smile of the romantic. I enjoyed writing that stuff. People are losing their shit at the romance nozzle. Yeah. And then I get a comment that someone goes, the romance nozzle is what he calls his dick. And I wanted to be like, a gold star for you. Well done. Excellent talent for comedy and excellent word use. Well, thanks. I gotta use my clown college degree for something. Yeah, the edit that lady did was excellent. Very good. Top tier edit. We love to see it. But anyways, I guess I'll be calling it here. Thanks for coming out, guys. It was a fun day. We got to fight Valigarmonda. We got to shoot the shit. We got to think about what's coming in the future. Ah! We're going to be doing Rival Wings in the near future as well, I think. So get ready for that. Because they're probably going to be announcing the next Mogtome event on Friday. So get ready. There's gonna be more! But anyways, you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Get ready for Civ 7.